Hi, it's NU412 and it's week 5, more than halfway through. I really enjoyed speaking with you all last week in our conferences. I've made note of some of your suggestions and I really value your input. Thank you. Students stated they would have liked to have realized that the initial posts for our first discussion boards were due on Thursday. And they noted that on Celtic Online, it just puts that the discussion boards are due on Sundays. And the reason for that is that the learning management system doesn't allow us to do two dates for a discussion board. So we opt to go for the Sunday date. So I will make note of that. And for the next iteration of the class, I'll make sure that new students understand that. I'll probably do that in that initial video that I did just to remind them that the first post is due on Thursday. Thank you. I think we really didn't get to explore the CUSIN website as we intended to do in the last module. So I sent you a link on how to directly get into the CUSIN competencies just so that you could review them. And then I also found a great article that talks about applying the CUSIN competencies to the clinical workplace. So since many of you do work clinically. And the article was used for continuing education, and I don't expect you to submit or do anything about the continuing education. It was a 2014 article, but I thought the article was a great way to learn about applying the CUSIN competencies. This is a busy week for you. I'm sure you've looked at it already since it's Tuesday, but we ask that you accomplish 2 discussion boards this week, one on communication and collaboration, and the other on the value and the roles and responsibilities of the community nurse. The quiz is cumulative from the chapters that you had to read for the first cumulative quiz. So chapters 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, and 18. There's about a question from each one of the chapters. The reflective private journal entry focuses on asking you about something that you've learned in the course so far and how you've been able to apply it for your practice. And lastly, we ask that you submit your RN to BSN handoff sheets, sign-off sheets. And I've received it as a fax, an email, as a picture. But please contact me if you're having any difficulty of submitting that piece of documentation that tells us that you read the handbook and that you understand it. I want to thank Tina for sharing that article. There is some more information on that case. I did some investigation of it too. And I'm thinking that that might be a topic that can be explored further in the course we have of legal, ethical, and political issues for the registered nurse. So thank you. In our individual conferences, we did discuss your papers, and it seems that many of you have the articles and resources that you need to begin writing that essential first draft. Remember to use the rubric in the syllabus to help guide what all needs to be included in the paper. But now's the time to contact the CAA to get specific feedback on your draft. So if you're having problems, maybe you're not a good at grammar, or you want to get the APA, even though the expectation isn't that you have that settled, but you want some work on it so you can get that more organized. But now's the time. You can also share a draft of your paper with a peer or a knowledgeable coworker. I realize that, sometimes when you're working so hard on a paper, you don't see the blatant errors that are there or things that you understood but that people don't see. So that's it. Have a great week and keep learning. Thanks.